Welcome back, everybody. Rudy, Alpha Investments. And different video today. Gonna have some fun. No drama on Magic the Gathering. We're gonna relax. Believe it or not, every once in a while, I still follow the board game world, the tabletop world. And before we get any further, no, this video, this company that makes Gloomhaven did not pay me a bunch of cash. They didn't give me any cash. There was no money exchanged, blah, blah, blah. I've done a couple other box openings and discussions of some other board games in the past. I like to do like one board game tabletop video like every 30, 60 days. Not a lot. I just like to kind of dabble in it because I like to follow it. I have conversations on tabletop games with distributors. It's a little bit of an overlap in the world of trading cards, so it's just fun to kind of keep an eye on it, keep tabs on what's going on. And every once in a while, some of these board games are just ridiculous. Now, this particular one, for those of you who didn't know this, when I was young and I was a little Rudy guy, I was a huge fan of Hero Quest board game. I don't know if most of you aren't even going to know what that is. There was little expansions to it, and it's very expensive in 2020, by the way. And today we're going to talk about Gloomhaven. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's pretty much a 100-pound cinder block of a board game. It is the most heaviest, ridiculous board game ever. Like, this thing is... like, I don't even think you could sell that on the internet or even ship that online. Like, I can't imagine what a 30, 40 pound, I don't even know, box must cost to ship and weigh. Like, it's got to cost you almost $100 just to ship the thing. So, I just think this is pretty interesting. So, we're going to do an unboxing today. I'm not going to teach you guys how to play, but I'm going to kind of tell you all from my experience in the last 60 days. I kind of did a little test games with some friends and family, and it reminded me of some of my childhood Hero Quest type days. It's just pretty much it kind of has some Diablo Path of Exile themes to it also. It reminds me of a little bit of that. You pick your character, you got your character classes, kind of the barbarian, the wizard, and kind of the necromancer. You kind of pick your class, and then there's a ton of quests. It's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons type of tabletop, but not really interactive, dress up, more intense, and a lot of long. But there's a ton of quests. There's got to be probably over 100 quests at this point. I know did they make an expansion? I think they did. And you kind of pick your character. There's a world map, and you kind of had your combat. It reminds me of certain mechanics of it. You got little life and experience, and it's just very well made though. And that's what really kind of caught my attention on this particular, like this company who makes it. The name is, what is that? I'm ruining the video now. Cephalor Games or something. You'll see it in the video. But just some of these board game tabletop companies makes phenomenal quality. And the way on this particular game, you have that overworld map. You kind of you kind of take some of your cardboard, build your little quest dungeon crawling type setup, and you go through it with you or a couple friends or something. And the way you interact and you do kind of the interact, it just reminds me of some of the games I played when I was younger and some of the role-playing games on, PC and consoles with the action RPG dungeon crawling games. I was a huge Baldur's Gate fan. I played a lot of Stonekeep when I was younger. Did a little bit of the whole EverQuest, RuneScapes and things, and obviously huge Diablo, Warcraft, StarCraft, and that category type of Blizzard game fan. Anyways, so today we're going to do a little unboxing. We're going to talk about it. And before we go into that, though, I kind of want to talk a minute with everyone on just the overall state of the tabletop board game industry in 2020. And I'll be very blunt with everyone. The board game tabletop non-trading card sector, it's not exactly in a bull market. It reminds me similar of the trading card industry. There's so many board games out now. Like, you guys think like when a new card game comes out, it's a big deal. There are so many board games out. The market almost feels saturated or just diluted or something. I don't really know a good way to explain it, but there's so many of them out there. It really, you can't appreciate how many good ones there are. But, the quality of this particular product line is just phenomenal. And I just want to do an unboxing and just kind of show and discuss it with you guys for a few minutes and have a nice change of pace video because I just think it's pretty cool. And again, if you guys something you want, something you like to play, that's up to you. But I'm not really here to sell anyone on the product. I'm not personally going to sell the product. I'm not going to carry it. Like I said, Maybe they should give me thousands of dollars for making this video. Isn't that what real sponsors do? But anyways, it's just something we're going to go over today. And it's an industry that I know some people are really big fans of, and they want to open their own store that carries these type of products and have table play space in maybe like more of a tabletop comic book LGS in your local community. But it's very tough to do, because when you carry or invest or collect this type of inventory, you're really very limited on what you can sell it for, because a lot of these companies have MAP pricing if you're buying from a store and distributor. In addition to that, if you can't sell it locally, or if you have a hard time, you really can't sell this type of stuff online because of the massive difficulty of shipping and the weight involved. It's a very complicated product, and God help you if you have a return or challenges. But so today we're going to appreciate this company who makes these absolutely ridiculous. I believe they're even making some more games. There's going to be like a Frosthaven, other expansions or sequels or whatever they're going to call it in the future. And I just want to have some fun with you guys, and I hope you guys like some different content like this sometimes. And we're going to have our daily dose of once every 45 days. Let's look at a cool board game. Nice change of pace, everybody. All right, let's have some fun here. So first thing I want to comment is the shape and the size of this thing. The quality is absolutely just mind-blowingly phenomenal. And unfortunately, I wish a lot of companies would learn from quality like this nowadays, you know, because you just don't see that. A lot of companies really cut costs. I don't even know if I can open the box. Can I even open the box? Hang on, let me pause it just to open the box. Holy, okay, I got it. Calm down, everybody. So let's take a look here. So this company made this board game that's so phenomenal. By the way, I want to show, I put everything, this particular one, I haven't taken apart and played or anything like that. All I did was take the wrapping off, so you guys can actually see what it's like to kind of look at it for the very first time. So on this one, this company actually gives you a good rule book, which is, that in itself is kind of impressive nowadays. Here's a good example here. Like, it shows you when you're going to start a quest here, how you take a certain few board pieces and kind of put them together. You kind of put your little doors, and if there's any events, you can put the little number on the door, and you have kind of your starting, you have character spaces, it tells you what pieces you need. It's pretty, actually, a lot of these companies do terrible instruction booklets, and these actually have pretty well-written, detailed instructions for you to actually understand, but it is a book. It is no joke. It's not a short, simple, easy thing. See this one here? Tells you about your character stuff, what level you are, kind of damage, how much hit points you start off with, experience on your little sliding pieces. Has kind of one of the board pieces, what it looks like. Enemies, how to use the little enemy sleeves, where you have a sleeve and you have your enemy stats. I'll show you guys when we kind of go through this unboxing. It's got some basic talks, talking about the movement of what things you can do and cannot do, line of sight, where the distance is, and how to kind of calculate your moves. Nothing too crazy on that particular category. So this is your actual rule book. Looks like a full-blown, looks like a business school binder, or maybe a Command and Conquer type rule book. Not rule book, I'm sorry, quest book. So this one will actually show you guys, you can actually take a look at what's what. So for example, look at this. So for example here, you've got Quest 2, the Barrow. It tells you what the requirements are, the goals, the requirement. You have pretty much first steps, your party. Goal, kill the bandit commander and reveal the enemies. And see, this is where it reminded me when I first was kind of playing this with some family. What caught my attention was this reminded me of Hero Quest. You kind of have some furniture pieces that you put in there, and then you kind of have the board pieces, and you connect them by certain doors. And of course, the little letters will correspond to a certain event that will happen. And it tells you, like you have a treasure tile, you have furniture, well, I used to call it furniture, sarcophagus or bookshelves or whatever it may be. Then your enemies, of course, and different things. So I thought that was, I don't know. So immediately, and by the way, look at how many quests. Look at some of these things. It gets ridiculous. And I don't think this is something you like replay each quest, by the way. It's more of a, like, you complete the quest and you move on, and there's so many quests. Like, I only played about 2 or 3 quests just to kind of get an idea for the game, because I just don't have a lot of time, unfortunately. The whole being an adult thing and working and, the whole running businesses, it's just, unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of time anymore. But I thought that was pretty cool, and I don't know anybody who's actually played through every single quest like that. I'm not aware. I'm sure there's really hardcore groups out there that have done that kind of stuff, but definitely not me. I'm sure there are hardcore groups that are really into this and they're waiting for the expansions and everything. And as you can see, when you get to the bigger quests towards the end, these things get complex. Like, look at the tiles, look at all the different items, look at the different events, look at the different monsters, and I mean, just, it's a lot. So that gives you an idea of kind of how they go about that. Here's your, I believe this is the overworld, or kind of your world map for some of you gamers out there. I'll kind of let you guys take a quick look. Sorry, I had to put the camera really high just so you guys can get an idea of this. So there are little numbers that correspond to the quests on your world map, and there's kind of like stickers. And once you complete the quest, don't screw it up, you're supposed to put the sticker kind of on the map on what quest you're doing and like cross it off type thing. There's actually like a little, here, I'll show you guys. There's actually like a little bit of, how should I say? Yeah, so if you look at this up close, I thought this was interesting. There's actually like little white boxes. You're supposed to like X off or check off or magic marker. I know, I kind of hate to ruin it like that, but really you get into it as you actually beat a certain quest. There's like every single one quest has a little, like a success mark if you actually beat it. And that's kind of how you track it. And look how many flipping quests. I said 70. Look at this. I didn't even realize. How high does it go? 90? So this one has 95 quests. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine how long that would take you. Now this was kind of, I don't know, kind of achievements, which was kind of weird to me. Because I was like, how does a board game have achievement? It's like a video game achievement unlocked. I thought that was kind of that really caught my attention. I remember that the first time I saw that. And of course, town little records here of certain things. I didn't want to open this one too much. I'll just show you guys. And then you get the million different panels. So the first thing I always look at on these panels is the thickness and quality. I'm always very curious on that. And to see how the cardboard itself holds up and how they actually pre-cut it, to kind of look at the overall actual, like, do they really care? They put a lot into it. You can see some of the little, like, furniture. I call it furniture. Sorry, everybody. I know they're not called furniture pieces, but that's just me. And you can see the actual, you can tell the room pieces. And by the way, see, when you set it up, there are codes in actual, let me flip it over. You can see the rooms, and there are little, it tells you, like, what piece, like, what furniture, or what floor piece to use. And these are kind of some of the items. They look bookcase type stuff and sarcophagus type stuff. So that's pretty, and there's a ton. Like, I want to show you guys all this, but I don't think anyone's going to watch this long of a video. And again, if you guys don't like board game stuff, I mean, you can let me know in the comments. Like, Rudy, stick to Magic, you loser. That's fine. I am just, you know, hey, I'm a nerd. I'm a very easygoing dude. I don't like exotic, fancy things. I just like to enjoy stuff. I'm a pretty simple guy, everybody. And I just thought it was cool. You can see the treasure chest, some of the little counters. You can see the little tiles, all the different. There's a ton. Like, I want to show you all of them, but I feel like I'm just, like, overdoing it. I guess I'll skip a few. Oh, look, here's some, here, look. Here's some really cool different actual monsters or elites or tokens or the different type of, that you put them on little stands and you kind of stand them up. And you can see some more. And I'm going to, I guess, speed up here. I didn't realize how many there are inside the box. And, of course, isn't that neat? So you can see the different monsters. And see, the monsters stand up. There's like little plastic stands. I'm going to pull the rest out because I don't want to just spend the whole video looking at the tiles. But I'll at least show you guys. Look at this. Like, I don't want to spend the entire video. Like, there's so much. Like, look, I get this is like a $150 board game. It's a huge success. I don't know anyone who's actually taken time to play it who doesn't like the board game. Like, I'll be completely honest. The people I've always asked about in some of the stores I've called that actually do board games, I'm like, hey, you guys heard of this? And they're like, of course we've heard of this, Rudy. Are you kidding me? You're the only one that's late to the party. So yeah, apparently, and again, I don't do a lot of board game stuff. I just think it's pretty sweet. And I just think it's cool. It just, the Baldur's Gate, Diablo 1, Diablo 2 of Rudy's childhood likes to come out in this kind of stuff. So it just kind of makes me happy. All right, so now when you get inside the actual board game here, I want to show you kind of what you can expect. So you got yourself little envelopes. Boop, boop, boop. We're just going to let that be. You got your little party, stat, scorecard sheets, whatever you want to call it. Shop price modifiers. You got all your reputation numbers, names, where you are, notes, anything, achievements on the bottom there. Sorry. And nice, just really cool box art right there. And of course, some little code deciphers. You have, I believe this is a little sticker sheet, if I remember correctly. Yes. Now, we'll remove this. It's like a never-ending, like I can't imagine the honest cost to manufacture something like this and ship it and do it. It's got to be outrageous, you guys. Like, I can't imagine. So, down here, you got all these fancy little booklets and different things. Some of these are character ones. Some of them are different types of things, but let's just focus on the beginning. Like your couple character ones. Like if you want to be, I don't know, some barbarian type character or some sort of mine type character, we can kind of pick one of these out and show you. You would start with this, and then where's, oh, it's under here. Hang on, sorry. We're still going. So if you look, I guess we'll jump around a little bit. Look at this stuff. How ridiculous is this? Like, can you imagine if Magic the Gathering put quality of stuff like this? Just phenomenal. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, so I want to show you again. On your left would be your hit points on whatever you would start with, and on your right would be your experience when you track your kind of your leveling and kind of how much stuff you do in the quests and monsters. And then down here, obviously, if you choose to be this character, just for funsies, we're just going to kind of pull it out. You would start with this fancy little packet here. And you would get these things inside of it. You get all your little goodies here. You got some little cards. There's your main little sheet. You become this, what is that guy, a mouse? I guess you're a mouse if you're a mind thief. And a little bit of history of the vermling mind thief, okay. And of course, you look at it, your little symbol is the brain, which is on the also the little envelope. So you would get your little character down here. So this would be your character box. See if I can not completely destroy it, just showing you guys in the video. So this is what your character would be. And you would be this little guy. Boop. I know a lot of people out there would always actually paint these things. There's like a huge market for it. I remember when I was a kid doing Hero Quest, a lot of friends would paint these different things and do that kind of stuff. So I do remember that. But anyway, so that would be your character. I like how they actually put them in a box so they don't get damaged in shipping. They kind of protect all the parts and everything like that. Because I have seen board games over the years in the past. I know that's one of the issues for companies and LGSs out there is when they'll sell certain expensive board games. A lot of people get very particular on the condition and quality of their board game. If you smash up the corner, they're going to be pissed. If they open it and there's broken figures inside of there, some of the minis are actually damaged, they're going to get pretty upset. By the way, when I was telling you guys earlier, so these are the little stands you would put your the enemies on those punch-out cards. By the way, here's some of the little action, like some of the combat cards and different things for the different enemies. So here you go. So like if you would draw, the enemy would draw this card, it would be minus move and they would get extra attack. Oh, here's the little enemy sleeves, which I was telling you guys about. So you kind of, when you put it inside the envelope sleeve, it would display which one you were playing with. You kind of only see one section like that. That's pretty much what that would be. And it tells you which monster in the middle based on the picture pretty much. Oh, never mind, there's your sleeve. This thing keeps going. It's like ridiculous. It's like flipping exploring a flipping dungeon just in the packaging. So you have a bunch of these, which is really neat. I mean, check this out. I thought this alone. See, this is what I look for in a game. Like, I like to look for things that show creativity and that the quality. So when you take a random character card like this, so we got this creepy looking octopus eyeball creepy guy. So what's really neat about it is it shows, like, when you put the card in there, it only displays a certain set of data. Hold on, if I can get in here without destroying the whole product. There we go. I didn't want to damage it. So what happens is you'd only see that certain set of data. Like if it's an elite or if it's a regular, and it would show you. And I think that's really cool, and you can adjust that and you can turn and everything. But anyways, didn't want to spend too much time on that. But I want to show you that, and of course you have a lot of your cards. The other thing I like to look at when I look at different board games, here's some actual event cards for the cities. I mean, if you're on the roads, you can see certain events or storylines and stuff like that. It tells you different options. So I thought that was pretty neat. Add some nice variables to the game. And more cards. And down here, we've got some other little combat. We got some item cards, events. We got some little attack. These are more combat cards for your own character. Like during combat, you get a plus or minus, a little boost by the card you draw and what you get on it. Thought that was pretty sweet. And that's really about it in here. Like I said, you got the other stuff over there. We already went over the minis, the cards, your kind of your character starting. A lot of neat, but the point of this whole video is I like to share, it's like artwork. Like to me, somebody put so much effort to organize and make this well done. And just the presentation, the quality and how they package it. It just deserves some credit and respect. And I'm a huge fan of that, even with trading cards. I look at card stock, the quality of the product. I want to make sure it's something really cool. And I thought today, you guys would really enjoy something like this. So I can't wait to see you guys' comments below.